Hey guys, Marco here. Hope all is well. And today we're gonna review a Ibanez, an Ibanez PIA. I know the unthinkable has happened. So many people have asked me over the last few years, when are you going to review an Ibanez? And here we are. There is, and as usual, you can skip ahead. I'll put time marks on the bottom, but I did want to do this quick forwards because it's very important to understand what's happening today, as this is a little bit more of a personal thing. And make sure I'm still in frame. I am. And here's the box. It just arrived. And we'll go together through the unboxing, everything together in real time like we always do. But back to my point, I want to be sure, I want to make sure you understand this isn't going to be quite as neutral like all the other reviews, because this is a guitar I'm considering keeping. And based on what's going to happen over the next, 5 to 10 to 24 hours, based on that, that's going to kind of determine whether this guitar is for me or not. Now, I still own a couple of Ibanez's. I'm not the biggest Ibanez fan. I shouldn't say fan. It's just that I kind of grew out of it. And I don't mean that as a ding at all. You know, you go through phases. When I was at Berkeley, trust me, all I played was Ibanez. If it wasn't an Ibanez, it just simply wasn't a guitar. We were playing Dream Theater albums from top to bottom. Ibanez was it. Then I kind of, grew in a different direction, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a great guitar. It's just I had a hard time finding something for me that I like, because either the neck is too thin or it sounds too kind of dated. And I love Steve Vai. I used to own a couple of JEMs, but the problem with the JEM is it's kind of dated too. It kind of sounds and it's starting to look dated. Maybe it's just me. I've been looking at it too long. But then at NAMM 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, I I I ran into the PIA and I watched Steve's video, and I feel like he himself kind of matured. I feel like this is a more mature guitar. I like the roundings. And one thing that really sold me on it was the other night when I saw the characteristics in Salt Lake City a few days ago when Steve played. The characteristics of the pickups. Those pickups I knew right away are amazing. Not his sound, I'm not chasing his sound, but the characteristics. And you guys know how big I am on pickups. Then I started watching some reviews myself, and I ended up talking to a lot of people over the last, 4 days now. And apparently the early things had some issues, and you can find that yourself on YouTube. I talked to a few stores. A bunch of them were sent back, which is very uncharacteristic for Ibanez. Neck alignment was off. The inside of the yin and yang cutout was unsanded on a lot of them and felt really rough. And mind you, this is a $3,500 guitar, okay? They're not very easy to find right now. I guess they're on back order, and I guess having talked to a bunch of stores and their owners, and you know how, friendly I am with a lot of them, they said, yeah, they kind of had to have a few meetings there at Ibanez, and supposedly they addressed all the issues, which, again, for a company and a culture of that stature, with respect to the brand, it was very unacceptable. So I'm very intrigued to see what this is and how this one is. This is a white one. I was torn between black and white. And I decided on the white because I have a lot of black guitars, and it's a beautiful white pearl. I bought this at Mike Risco in New York. A great store. Again, I'm not affiliated with them, but give credit where credit is due. Just like I always point out the bad for you. And so, as you can tell, I'm talking a little bit more because it's a journey I want to take you on with me to kind of discover if you're going to spend $3,500 on a bolt-on made in Japan guitar. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? And I personally have to feel that this guitar gives me something that the others don't. And I really hope it will. So again, credit to the store. They gave me a good deal. Got one in literally the night before I called, and here it is. I overnighted it. But I was very honest. Listen, it's a 50-50. And either it's going to sell me, or I am going to have to return it and just, I hope this guitar is going to be what I hope it is, or as good as I hope it is. So let's unbox it together. Let's see, the craftsmanship value. We'll go through a few quick sounds. There's enough videos out there on sounds. What I want to do is I'm really after value versus what you get for the money on this, I think, because if I'm going to go back to Ibanez, it has to impress me. And, well, let's see if it does. All right, I'm going to take you through the journey as if you bought one yourself. It's beautifully double boxed, coming straight from, let me cover up my address so you guys don't show up at my house and steal these guitars. Mike Risco, again, going to give him a shout out. They were amazing. Listen, they made it work. And I want to give credit where credit is due. So it arrived exactly as promised. And they themselves only just opened it to make sure it's the right guitar in there. And then literally the next morning it was out, being shipped to me. So here we are. Let's take it out. Out of the double box, you get a little sentimental, or at least I do, because I remember back in '95 when I got my P1 as a teenager, it was the same box, and subsequently all the boxes looked like that. So I had a little sentimental, nostalgic, feeling when you see that kind of light blue on the cardboard. And looks like we're going to have to cut this open too. So we have our trusty Swiss knife. And here we are with the box open. So, wow, this is a really cool case. I have to say, this is, it's hard to describe. It's a high-end plastic, but it's very, very top quality. And, I mean, little things. This is really well done. Really, really cool, I have to say. Let me take it out. Here's another look, and what's really cool, it's on both sides. Has leg stirrers there, and just, yeah, looks top quality, I have to say. It's the little things, very cool. Oh my God, I'm dying to open it up. Let's do it. Well, all right then, let's do this. Always a little nerve-wracking doing this in real time because you kind of never know what you're gonna get. But let me go around the ring light. I've positioned the light right on top, and here we go. Oh, okay, so the case stays open. Cool. Oh, this is cool. This is, I guess, for the trem arm. This is cool. I like that. You can leave the trem arm in. All right. My OCD is going straight for the neck. The alignment looks good. I will be shocked if it wasn't. And you know what? I'm going to put it a little bit towards the light, a little bit more towards the light. It's hard to describe. The video really doesn't do it justice. This really isn't like a flat white, like on the old JEMs. And I'm going to try to zoom in for you. It's really like a really gorgeous, kind of like a pearl, and it's hard to describe, but it is really deep. It looks very expensive. I'm trying to kind of zoom in on it, but video is going to be hard to do this justice, just because pearl white doesn't pick up good on light, but or on camera, I should say. But looks really nice. Beautiful knobs with the Adelone inlay there, and just great grip. You have a high pass filter, and I like how this feels. It feels very solid. It doesn't feel cheap at all. It really clicks good. There's nothing here. The knobs are really, this one's a little bit lighter. This a little bit heavier. You got your tiger grip there, but you got those really cool, excuse my, zoom in here, engravings. I mean, it's gimmicky. It's all good and great. That's just who Steve is, and it's all good. I'm more about, at this stage in my career about, okay, is this a great tool? But
which this guitar is. It's just a question, is it for me? So, all right, here we go. Here's the big one. Okay, yeah, it feels smooth. Okay, let me see if I can get in there and show you. There was some issues in the past here, apparently, so yeah, it's smooth, yeah. Okay, and then here, it's smoother on the top than it is on the bottom, but at least it looks good. It's all good. It's all good, like I said. Let's get to the fretboard. I'll get it a little bit into the light here. A little dry from the factory. They always come a little dry, but I'm going to change strings anyway. Just because when I change strings, it makes me get to know the guitar. The inlay is gorgeous. I mean, and I really love this inlay over the old JEM. It's definitely an improvement. It just has a deeper curve to it. The flowers are more open. It looks really cool. I love how on the top it kind of circles around. On the JEM it kind of opens up. I mean, they're both beautiful, but wish there would have been a little bit more contrast just for aesthetic purposes, kind of like you have here. The mother of pearl would have been cool to have that here too, especially for a $3,500 guitar. But it's all good. Like I said, looks really nice. I mean, it's I wish you could see a little bit of that pearl. Hopefully it comes through here. It's a really, really nice nice looking guitar. So yeah, looks good. Let me circle around and see what we have in the case. So here, this nice pouch, a warranty, a couple of picks from the store, serial code. Very similar to what you get with the Chrome Boy. You get that Ibanez tool there, the two trem arms. One's carbon fiber, the other one regular. Okay, this is cool. And you know what? Actually, I am going to take the trem arm out and actually make sure it fits good before we take the guitar out, because that's a big deal. So I have the super light carbon fiber, very kind of identical to what you get on the Chrome Boy. Let's see here. And I'm going to press it. Oh, this is weird. Let me move this over a little bit. Yeah, this isn't going in, strangely enough. I'm trying to... Oh, there you go, all right. All right, you know what? Let me finagle this real quick with two hands. All right, it's a super tight fit. It finally went in, but you gotta... There you go. I guess the first time, really. There you go, and took a little... I actually like that it's stiff. I mean, it's not too stiff. I just love that it stays in place. It feels great now, and it came out smooth, but I guess, just the first time took a little. And so if I'm correct, so if you close this now, this should actually, let's see here, stay in the case, which is kind of cool. They're doing the Ernie Ball thing. So you don't always have to take it out. You can just leave it on the guitar, so which is nice. All right, we have the maintenance manual. Nothing really there to see there. We got the inspection, assembly, and then there's, what's here? Oh, like a little PIA book. All right, like a little buy thing, I guess. A little word from him. All right, let's take it out and actually inspect the guitar. So I laid it down. I'm going to start on the back here. Again, it looks gorgeous. I'm going to try to put it in the light. It's hard. It's such a beautiful pearl white. There you can see it. It's really, Really pretty. And it's really prettier in person. Right off the bat, some of my thoughts are that I just love how much better and more mature it looks to me than the JEM. And again, that's just me. Maybe I'm just tired out on the JEM, but right away it feels, this is magnetic. God, oh boy, it's really hard. It's a little bit gimmicky, but like I said, I keep this off anyway the whole time. And there's this white peel you gotta take off, but it's cool. And it sits really strong. So, I mean, to kind of try to make this a selling point, like it matters. But the neck is beautiful. So what's really cool is you have 2 quarter sawn pieces, and that is important to me because trust me, that over the years will make a difference. And you can see right here, you have quarter sawn on this piece and on that piece. And of course, it's a 5-piece with the walnut in the middle. So that is really, really cool. The fact that they actually did that, and gorgeous wood selection, truly, truly beautiful. I haven't even held it. It feels, yeah, a little bit thicker than that super wizard thin neck, which is way too thin. This has a beautiful little thickness to it. You got that beautiful apex here, the serial number. The first 2 is the year, so 22, obviously. It just came out of the factory. And again, just this beautiful pearl white, as you can see right here. It's really, really, really nice, I have to say. It is very, very nice. Let's see it against the light a little bit. You see some of those. Again, hard, very, very hard to show in the video, but it's gorgeous. And you got that cutout here, which is really nice. The whole thing is rounded, just looks a little bit more mature, more sophisticated. And then you have illuminated dots here for nighttime, you know, visual advantage. The finish, let's see here, looks nice. You can tell the handmade element that goes into this. Do they use horns or is it one piece? Yeah, it's kind of, see, you have this here. So just like Gibson, you know, to save wood, they put like this little horn there so they can use different blanks, which, you know, and then one on the bottom. So it is what it is. It's, you know, the question becomes, hey, at almost $4,000, you know, is it after taxes? Well, not quite, but you know what I mean. But let's look at the frets. It's the prestige treatment, and it looks really, really good. Let me, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me kind of go over. I'm pressing really hard, and yeah, no, they're nice. See, it doesn't hurt. They're not the roundest frets, but they're nice. They're nicely done, and they look top notch. The rounding is nice, as you can see. If you remember from the factory, it always comes a little dry, and the climate and the dust. So what you want to do is take the strings off, oil it a little bit, give it some love, and the fretboard will thank you. You got these last 4 scalloped, you know, that's just how Steve has it, but it looks really nice, and you can just tell how organic and beautiful. I could literally see the guy sitting there and rounding it, and just these beautiful organic imperfections from the wood itself, and the way the rounding is done is just gorgeous. And then here too, you know, just the way it's kind of rounded off. If you look right here, it's just, it's beautiful. You really can definitely tell the guy sitting there and doing it. Stainless steel, and again, actually went from 16 to 17 and a little bit taller on these than on the JEM. So while the neck is the same, plank-wise, I'm sorry, the feel is completely different, supposedly. Because, of course, the frets make such a big difference. 16 to 17 inch won't make a big difference, but the fact that they're narrower and taller, of course, makes a huge, huge difference. So gorgeous instrument. It really is stunning, I have to say. It looks beautiful. Just love the rounding here. I remember my JEM just, again, I keep coming back to that word dated, but this really looks so much more sophisticated, so much nicer and rounder and just maturer. And it's just a really, really gorgeous instrument. Look at that. Just truly, truly, truly beautiful.
All right, I want to talk to you real quick about value. Again, stores have to tell you, sell you guitars. I don't. And listen, if you're one of those that's, John Petrucci fan and you're going to buy anything he makes, or, whatever, Steve Vai fan and you're going to buy you're going to buy this just because of that reason, that's great. That's great. I remember, being young and I look up to my heroes and you just want to play what they play. And that's awesome. At the end of the day, it inspires you to play guitar, and that's all good. For me, uh, I haven't played it yet. I put the tuner on. These were unlocked, and I'm going to tune it up a little bit. The strings are new, and set it up to my liking, and then we'll plug it in. It sits really well. I have to say, it feels really good. It feels very premium is the word. But we also have to, and make sure I'm in frame, we have to talk value. I know gear is not cheap right now. As a matter of fact, it's incredibly expensive, isn't it? But this guitar, when it came out 2 years ago, was $3,500. And still is $3,500. So in many ways, respect to Ibanez not having upped it yet by $200, But I'm looking at value, and let me show you what I mean here. You have some of my guitars. I'm very blessed to have some good gear, and I have many more guitars in the studio. But what I like to do is have things at home that I play, that I cycle through, right? And I'll get out of the way. No need to look at my ugly face. I haven't even showered today. I'm working out all day, so ignore me. But we have an Eric Johnson, we have a Malmsteen, we have a custom Strat Tele, a couple N4s, EVH Stealth. Now, if you notice, funny enough, all of these above here are bolt-on necks, and on the bottom here we have Les Paul Custom. What do we have here? A beautiful 2010 traditional / AFD gold top that's modified with a bunch of cream tone stuff, another slash. Beautiful 88 Les Paul, Washburn N7, and so on and so on. But if you take a we'll take this. It doesn't really matter. We'll take this beautiful 88 Les Paul, okay, and pretend for a second. This is a one of those new 50s or 60s Les Paul. They go for $2,699, $2,700, $3,500. So we're talking a difference of $800. All right. Now, if you, I'll put that here so it doesn't hit each other. Where do I begin? So the PIA, the Ibanez, is a single piece alder body. This here is mahogany with maple top. So right off the bat, you're looking at a much more expensive, and mind you, you don't know what alder you get here. It could be I assume it's a good piece of alder, but I don't know. I assume it's a one piece, but you look at like one of those new Les Pauls. Okay, Siri just interrupted me. Sorry about that. I'll make sure I'm in frame here. Pretend this is one of those new Les Pauls, 50s, 60s, right? This is a carved body, two-piece body, takes more time to do, much more sanding and handwork involved. You have, which the PIA doesn't. You have binding, which is handmade, and again, takes a lot of time. You have a set neck, which is only good for that particular day who made them, okay? Because they have plus minus 1 millimeter set-offs per model. You have binding on the fretboard, which is, again, incredibly time consuming and you can't really mess up. So a lot of handwork that goes into a Les Paul. And the binding goes over the frets, which takes even more time to do it than, the frets going over the binding, like on the Paul Reed Smiths. And so there's just an incredible amount of craftsmanship with respect to man hours spent that you don't have on an Ibanez. And the biggest thing is it's made in the USA, which isn't cheap. Whether you like that or not doesn't matter to me. I mean, I don't care about it as long as it's a good guitar. But somehow, this thing with a set neck, with a fretboard binding, with the hand binding, with the carve binding, with the body binding, with the two-piece, with the body carve, is still $800 cheaper. So, and listen, whereas this, it's no different than a Fender. I mean, any neck will do for anybody. I mean, they can choose probably any neck they make and put it on any body. It's not like that neck has to go with this body, like on the Les Paul for that particular day where the guy sits and adjusts the hooks, right? So you have no binding here. You don't have a carve here. The rest is the same. They use the horns all the same. Fair enough, you can say the inlay here definitely takes more time. The fretwork is the same on both. Value-wise, I got to say, I'd love to hear your opinion on it. And listen. I understand Steve demands a premium. He deserves a premium. He has earned his premium. He has. I would shine the man's shoes. He has inspired me. It's made in Japan, and somehow this bolt-on, no carve, no binding, anything, bolt-on neck is almost $1,000 more. And, I can go into now saying I believe this should be a $24.99 guitar, wouldn't make a difference. But think about that. Think about that from a value perspective. For somebody, if you're like me at a point where you truly look at these as a tool and versus value, compared to you buying it just because it's a signature model, you got to have it. One thing I really love about this, though, and I remember trying the JP15 and I ended up selling it because the neck was so paper thin. The one thing, again, that I come back to is just how much more mature this guitar feels, and the look is really growing on me. I think it just looks sexy, beautiful, classy. I wonder how many people will really play them and use them as a tool because, if you, like me back in the day, when you work hard and you save up and you spend $3,800 on a guitar, oh my God, you're going to baby it and wipe it. I, on the other hand, can't wait for this thing to look beat up, if I decide to keep it, because they're a tool, and when you realize that, you handle them differently after a few years of playing, So I'm not looking to protect this, but value is something that you have to think about. And, of course, you cannot compare this Cadillac to this Porsche. I get that. But think about it. Made in the USA with a lot more to it. I'm strictly speaking neutrally, just from a production aspect, versus made in Japan, and somehow this thing is $800 more. And it's not like this is like a limited run out of this world freaking private stock, 200 made. So regardless how I feel about the guitar, man, this is a hefty price tag for what essentially is a tweaked, made in Japan, bolt-on neck RG. Now, it's not an RG. It's not. The 10 guys that work in their custom shop thing, don't get me wrong, this is legit stuff. And right now I can tell you, not even having played it, it destroys most of the stuff that Ibanez makes. But still, I'm strictly talking from a value ratio, and I just can't help but compare it to a made in the USA Les Paul versus this being made in Japan with much less to it. Now that doesn't make it inferior or superior, but keep that in mind. You're spending $3,800 after tax. So it is evening time, and I'm about to go and drink a lot of wine. But in the interest of doing this in real time, I wanted to throw this in real quick before I do the a little sound test tomorrow. Spend the last 20 minutes dialing it in a little bit. The neck didn't need adjustment. Of course, this is, personal how you set it up. And I haven't plugged it in yet. I lowered the Edge Pro a bit. And mind you, they switched back to this system versus the original JEM. So interesting there. And while I did tune the guitar up a little bit, it kind of, made me get to know the instrument a little bit. And what I really love is just the extra kind of curves that they added, and it really feels stunningly comfortable. I have to say, it's one of the most comfortable guitars I've played. For you who don't know, as I mentioned in all my other reviews, my EVH Stealth USA is always my go-to guitar for everything, but it's really uncomfortable. It has no carving, it's very rough. And this truly feels soft. It's like a soft beast. And one thing I wanted to show you real quick, I just locked it up finally, and it's holding tune fantastically. It'll probably go out a little bit because, again, the strings are just obviously new. They tune it up, ship it out, and that's that. And in fairness, the guitar store didn't have time to set it up perfectly because I literally bought it, the same day they got it. But one thing I wanted to show you is just the resonance that this has, even with the holes here. They're finished nice. There's a little bit, yeah, you can kind of tell, but a great job. But listen just to the resonance. Incredibly beautiful, just wonderful wood selection right there. The reason I wanted to show you this real quick is because I'm starting to feel good about it. It really truly screams special and hey there, kitty, sophisticated. And a lot of guitar players, they don't really check the resonance of an instrument, and I do. When you get a little bit more mature or you play a long time, you get to know an instrument very well by just going. Awkward chord, but it tells you so much about the resonance, It really, really has just a beautiful snappiness and warmth to it, because once you go high gain, anything will sound good. It's then it becomes more about how the pickups actually handle the abuse rather than, but this is really gorgeous. I mean, so, and it stays in tune. Gorgeous. So, and it's, I'll check the intonation tomorrow and everything, but just wanted to show you that real quick. But it sits absolutely, and even the trem feels, just, it's dialed in. I mean, it's dialed in. This is one of those you get what you pay for. It really, truly is dialed in. And right now, I have to say, uh, I'm feeling good about this offering me something that the USA Stealth doesn't, and just kind of like it's almost like Beauty and the Beast. I feel like, even though this is the Beauty but has the Beast in it, and the Stealth is kind of like the Beast but has the Beauty, and it's really weird. And remember, I'm looking for a great guitar to add something to the palette. If you're just gonna do the Steve Vai thing, I'm not after that, because Steve Vai is so freaking unique that the moment you start doing his thing, you'll get props for doing it, but you kind of lose your own identity. So this feels really good. I mean, I have a hard time putting it down, and I'm rambling on, but that's just the thing. I don't want to. It just feels really warm. And I just remember my JEM never kind of sitting right with me. Maybe it was just too rough, but it just sits really good. I took the plastic off here, and eventually, I don't even need this, but it feels really warm. It's rounded, it's sophisticated. The buttons, the tone is a bit harder to move, which is what you want. The switches are stiff and nice. The pot feels expensive when you pull it out, rather than like a cheap. It feels really, really good. And I'm purposely not going to plug it in tonight, but I did want to share this with you real quick. And then tomorrow we'll do a quick, maybe into the Jubilee or the Satriani head, and finish it up. But it just sits gorgeous. And even when you look at the carve here from the top, this one right here just kind of hugs the body nicer. This is deeper. The cutout is kind of cool growing on me here, rather than that kind of, a little bit of a cheesy monkey grip, that's kind of dated, but it feels really nice, man. All right, let's do a little sound test. And you know what? We're going to use, I said Jubilee, but we're going to use the HJS, because I think that's just the right way to go. And this amp will probably sound incredible. It's probably built for a guitar like that. Don't worry about settings, and I'm not going to use any pre-effects, just maybe a little reverb and delay in the back. But, people worry about settings. Enjoy the vibe of the guitar. You're going to do your own sound and settings anyway. Just enjoy the quality of the pickups and just kind of the characteristics. Remember, I'm plugging it in now for the first time myself. Just some basic tones, to kind of see what it sounds like and explore the pickups. No need for some shred and all that stuff. So remember, it's the guitar that's supposed to be the star and impress you, not the player. My bad, I did forget one thing that does matter. We are using a 1936 cab with V speakers. Even though this is the 1275, I replaced those speakers with the V-type, the V30s, and the Royer 121 and a 57 paired together straight into Pro Tools. So that's what you're going to hear. It sounds gorgeous, those mics. Let's check it out. I also do want to point out real quick that I left this guitar overnight sitting here, and it gets a little chilly in this room. And the way it holds tune is absolutely incredible. This is a big deal, especially for you guys who are experienced players, because it tells you a lot about a guitar. So if you look at this, and I have it there too, and I'm using my wireless, which is really nice. This the G10S fits right in, just absolutely perfect. Not that I would use it on stage, but for at home, it's totally fine. And if you look, even on the wireless tuner, but no, there you go. And I mean, I haven't touched this since yesterday when I locked it up. I'm not gonna go into the physics, what makes the guitar hold better in tune, but let me tell you something. A locking thing means nothing if the guitar isn't built and dialed in the right way. As a matter of fact, this can be a disaster on cheap guitars, because the moment you touch this or bend, it goes out of tune right away. Forgive me if the intonation I haven't checked the intonation yet. Again, I'm plugging it in my myself for the first time. I assume it's going to be great out of the factory. It does look to be centered the right way. By that I mean the off axes, but the tuning stability is absolutely incredible on this, as you would expect from a guitar that costs almost $4,000. wanted to give you real quick an opinion in real time instead of playing through all the different sounds, clean distortion, and then give you a final opinion because I don't want to forget anything. But most importantly, right now I'm just absolutely blown away with the versatility and how much of different clean sounds you can get out of the PIA. The only guitar that I've ever known and owned where the second and the fourth switch are actually genuinely usable and sound great is the Eric Johnson. The PIA is the first time, and trust me, I tried many of them, and so, the other Ibanez just sound too generic. It's just the reality of it, whether you like that fact or not. But the Eric Johnson is the only guitar where I genuinely prefer to be on number 2 on clean sounds and number 4 than actually being on the bridge or the full neck pickup. And the PIA is the only other one that offers that. Now, my go-to guitar has always been the Stealth, as you all know, and to me, it's still one of the best all-around guitars ever made. But right now, if you ask me if I had to go to an island and take one guitar with me for clean sounds alone, versatility, I would have to say I'd rather take none unless I can take the Stealth and the PIA. And what I'm trying to say with that is, you look at, the Les Pauls, the Fenders, the custom shop pickups, the Slash pickups, the 490, 498, and all the other guitars I have. They're all great in what they do. And those DiMarzios and the PIAs are absolutely ridiculously good in their own right. And this is, by the way, how you test pickups. You don't do like a big fancy production like they do on YouTube to sell your guitar. You just do simple strumming, and you can tell the overtones, which those DiMarzios that I just shown you are absolutely fucking incredible. The difference is that with the Slash pickup, with the 490, with the custom bucker, with the 57, with the burst bucker and the 88, with the Bill Lawrence, the 59, you get one sound. But versatility-wise, like I've never heard a guitar in recent memory that had such a diverse and different sounds than the PIA. It sounds like there's 4 different guitars in one. That's how good the DiMarzios are on the clean sound. Now let's see how they handle the breakup. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the crunch channel of the HJS, and that is, or for you who don't know, it has 3 channels. So it has a yellow, here's the green, the amber, and the red. And they're all voiced a little differently, somewhere between a Plexi, a JCM 800, the AFD, which is incredible. Again, in the video, you're not going to know when I switch to which one. And again, don't worry about it. Just enjoy the pickups. I'll play the same kind of boring riffs over and over. But again, I haven't played on this channel yet with these pickups, so I'm incredibly excited. But yeah, I'll do probably, the first 40 seconds, a little bit on green, then amber, and then red. And we'll just enjoy it and see where it goes. right, so the analysis of the, I guess call it crunch channel, right? I'm just blown away. I'm absolutely, the pickups are just staggering. You know, I'm looking at it almost makes me think of Ferrari when Enzo said, I sell engines, the car I throw in for free. And this is a little bit like that. And of course, yeah, the Ferrari is beautiful and the body is timeless and the quality of the 50-layer paint. But you almost can't get over the beauty. And then when you drive it, you're like, oh my God, the engine is even more exciting than the look of the car. And that's a statement right there, right? And I kind of feel like, let me tell you something. And you know how I am about pickups, and you know I know pickups, and I design pickups and know about them, etc. Blah blah blah. But I tell you, if you have any, and I've been playing Ibanez's for 20 years. Remember, before I kind of got off of it, and you know, but if you have any Ibanez at home with a HSH configuration or just whatever, just HH. Do yourself a favor, go to sweetwater.com and order yourselves Utopias, because I promise you, I pretty much can guarantee it. There's not an Ibanez you have at home in this pickup configuration in which the pickups will be better than what these new DiMarzios are doing. They're incredible. And you know, the more I'm playing it now, and I haven't gone to the high gain channel yet, but the more I'm playing it now, the more I understand what he did and why he did it. Because, and it's something that truly, he's right. And he uses that word organic too in the template. It comes back to maturity. It comes back to exclusivity. It comes back to specialty and beauty and how organic they sound. And seriously, and you know what's funny? They have certain characteristics that are very, very similar to the EVH. And ironically, now that I think about it, the Ernie Ball EVH had the Marzios. The PV Wolfgang, well, the pickup was based on the Marzio sound. They just rewound the mids a little bit, the way Jim DeCola redesigned it. And also I think the top end was a little carved off. And on the clean channel, it was really obvious if you look at my review where I compared those three guitars. And this has so much of that too. It has that Larry DiMarzio. I really, really spent time on this written all over it. And I tell you, if you have an Ibanez at home that has this configuration and you want to improve your car, I promise you, go online and order yourselves these Utopias, because I think for the first time your Ibanez will actually sound like a genuinely high-end instrument. And again, I don't mean that in an insulting way. I love Ibanez. I play them longer than I've not played them. I'm saying just from, look, just don't be confused. These pickups are fucking incredible. Let's go to, you know, high gain is a little bit, you know what, let's play over something slow, like maybe like Comfortably Numb, Pink Floyd, something so you can really enjoy it. I'll play the same solo over and over, because otherwise we're just going to shred, and when you shred it, it all sounds good. You know, you got a bunch of people doing the Steve Vai thing on YouTube. So let's just let's see how they sound on high gain on the red channel opened up. And so for high gain, all I'm going to do is basically go to the overdrive channel, straight to the red. There's so much gain. Pretty much every guitar is going to sound good because this amp is that good. I think we'll still get a lot of characteristics, but really where a pickup shines is when you layer it with music. So I'm going to do like I said, maybe like a Pink Floyd. I'll pick a backing track real quick just to open them up and kind of see how they sustain and how they, you know, come out on top of the music, which I think they should cut through really nicely, you know, which is usually high-end DiMarzios do. So let's just check it out. I'll give you maybe a couple licks just for the sake of it by itself, but it's really, you know, when you have that much gain, you need bass and drums to swallow it. So let's see how we do. All right, sorry about all that garbage and sloppy playing. I just don't care. It's not like I'm making a record, you know. So one take it was, but there's something I want to show you before I get to my kind of final thoughts, because it's been a long 2 days spending time on this guitar. But this you have to see. So I just unplugged the wireless, and it's charging there, as you can see. Just turned off the amp. Check this out, and this blew my mind. I haven't, again, seen this since the Stealth, which has a dual graphite rod in there. Yesterday, I locked this up after I broken the strings, and I just bent the shit out of this, because comfortably numb, as you noticed, I went through that three-step bend, right, on purpose. And I abused the tremolo, and I haven't really played much outside of what you've seen on the video here, but check this out. I want to show you this. We'll start on the high E here. Slightly off. Okay, we'll fix that. Okay. Good. 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 Okay. I guess this is kind of where you say, wow. All right, here are some final thoughts, and it's been a long 2 days. I've gotten to know the guitar. Man, bending on that thing was just incredible. Stainless steel frets, I probably forgot to mention that. Make sure I'm in frame here. I'm in love with this instrument. I'm in love with this instrument. And I genuinely believe that these two, outside, fanboy stuff that you're going to buy anyway, but I genuinely believe that these two are some of the best all-around instruments that you can own. And trust me, I own a lot of guitars. I've played a lot of guitars. Since I started playing in Berkeley and everything, and my God, am I happy that I've turned down endorsement deals over the years, because I would miss out on playing this or this or. And listen, there's different spices for the kitchen. You don't have I don't care if you have a PRS, you need a Les Paul. You have a Les Paul, you need a Strat, you have a Strat, Ibanez. But the thing that I love the most, the thing that I love the absolute most about this guitar, and I cannot stress that enough, the thing that I love the most about this is the fact that I don't love it because it's a Steve Vai signature model. And that's probably the greatest compliment that I can give this guitar. And for it to be an Ibanez that finally comes full circle into that upper echelon, sophisticated, mature, top quality stuff. I mean, listen, they do a lot of top quality stuff. You can get a J Custom and it's good quality. But how ironic that it took Steve to kind of do, what John did to the Mesa Boogie, what Satriani did to the Marshall Head, what et cetera, what kind of Eric Johnson did to the Strat, et cetera, So the build quality is great, the finish is great, the feel is great, the neck is great. It's not that stupid wizard paper thin. The frets are great, the craftsmanship is great, the pickups are fucking out of this world. The look is great. I'm telling you, I'm still in complete shock because I just didn't expect an Ibanez PIA to kind of give me a new enthusiasm for guitars. And it has not, I don't even care about Ibanez anymore. But the one good thing about when you get to the level where I'm at, maturity-wise I'm speaking, not you don't want to play as bad as I do, trust me. I'm talking maturity-wise, where you just don't give a shit anymore about the name or I mean, I'm doing like my own custom builds now. So And yeah, the good brands, I mean, are still like no different than in food. In the kitchen, you got certain brands that make great stuff for cookings, great spices, great knives, great plates, great ovens, great grills. All of those things add up, you know what I mean? But the last thing I was looking for is a freaking Ibanez, man. And the fact that this guitar I'm putting right next to the Stealth is just incredible. And sure, the pickups have a lot to do with it. But again, you can't have that Ferrari engine without the beauty of the body. And that's why Ferrari is so special. That's why the EVH Stealth is so special, is because it has both. It has the engine, that sound, and it's a timeless beauty. It's just you don't know what's more exciting, to look at it or to drive it. And I cannot put this thing down. And I wasn't even going to do this review. I did it so I get to know the guitar. And a lot of people have asked me, when are you going to do an Ibanez? Well, here you have it. I'll tell you one thing. For me personally, make sure I'm still recording. For me personally, there's only one Ibanez to own, and this is it. This is the only Ibanez you need. You don't need nothing else. You have this, you have it all. And I'm telling you right now, and as you all know, this has been my, and again, I'm not even an Eddie fanboy, but the fact is, whether you like it or not, it's one of the best all-around guitars. And I was always looking for something what will give me something, what if this was a Ferrari, what will be the Lambo? And boy, I tell you, I mean, I can play a whole show on this and people will be like, whoa, what is this? So, Steve, much respect. I think you finally have come full circle and realized, or just, realized that you had something good and you finally made it great. And the same with Eddie, so if I were to design an Ibanez and a pickup, this would be it. And what a masterpiece. The look, the feel, I'm telling you right now. I do believe, I don't want to close on a negative note, but I do believe the price is insane. $3,500 for a Japanese-made Ibanez, but I don't care. I don't care if this thing ate one of my legs, for you who remember that reference. I don't care. Sell some organs for medical experiments. Sell one of your children. Buy one of these. But the price is crazy. $3,500. It's not. I wish it had some more mother of pearl here, or if it was a limited version, which I'm happy it isn't. It's a regular production guitar. But you know what? There's not been many times in my life I felt like I overpaid, but I didn't, if that kind of makes sense. And boy, my goodness. I'm going to leave you with some good playing right now on my latest music video. And forget the shameless promotion. I don't need that. But one thing I do want you, if you care, that whole song was recorded on the Stealth. Even though you also see a Axis in there that I featured for promo, but the whole song was recorded on the Stealth. So you don't have to look at the video. There's a hot girl in it, but pay attention to how you pick up those DiMarzio characteristics. I'm in love. Get one.